Hi guys, Shida Games today, welcome back to my channel. We're back with another Sims 4 build challenge, and today we're going to be doing a challenge where each room is going to be a different theme. So let's go over to the wheel spinner and see what our outside theme is going to be. Okay, so I've added all different types of themes like farmhouse, boho, dark academia, retro, minimalist, all sorts. So let's give it a spin and see what the outside is going to be. Okay, so for our outside it's going to be industrial. I thought I was going to go into dark academia then, and I really want that for a room. So industrial outside, let's go. Okay, so I'm just going to start by building maybe like 2 rectangles and then maybe like one off the side here, like a little bit pushed back, and then maybe we can kind of do something off to this side too, just to kind of break up the space. Okay, we could do something like that. And then upstairs, we can maybe kind of bring this up, but not quite. Maybe like have it like this. And then I feel like for the roof, I'm not going to roof it. I'm going to do like half walls. I feel like will look cool. Or we could do like a balcony. And then maybe we could do like a rooftop hangout zone. That might look really cool. For like the exterior, I want to do brick. I want to do like a really nice dark, like reddy brown colour. And then I want to mix in some black because I feel like industrial has like a lot of brick. It's like a lot of exposed stuff, so like exposed beams, columns, that kind of stuff. And then maybe we'll find a black to see, so on the rest and see what that looks like. I kind of want something subtle, so we could maybe look at this one. This is from the Get Together, I think. It's either Get Together or it's the family pack. I always call them the wrong thing, not gonna lie. I do like that. I don't think it goes with the brick though, so I think we will change the brick. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this brick from base game, and it's just like a little bit more, I don't know how to call it, red tone. Well, it's not as like, it's just a deeper colour, and I think it suits it a lot better. Cool. And then for the columns, I'm going to go black, and there are these. I think I'm going to use these from Eco Lifestyle because they kind of look like exposed beams. Yeah, like this. I mean, it's facing the wrong way. It doesn't let me change it, so we're just going to have it kind of as is. Okay, like that. It's kind of annoying me. It won't let me rotate them, and it's not consistent about which way they look. I did look for another one. There isn't any other options that are kind of industrial, so we'll go with these still, and then we might change them. So I think this is going to be our entryway here, so let's kind of see what we can get for a door. I think I'm going to go with this one from base game, I think, for the door. And then for windows, again, I want them kind of tall, but I want them a bit unusual, so like maybe these base game ones would look really cool. I'm not going to do these everywhere, but maybe at the front here, and then at the sides we'll do something different. I was going to add this like trim in the house, but I think that looks too much with the columns, and I don't think there's another one that kind of fits, so I don't think we'll do a trim. Okay, so for outside, I want to bring in like quite a lot of greenery. I think adding greenery and like ivy to these builds just makes them look absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna get a path going up to the house. I'm not sure if I want to do something like this, which is kind of like a brick, or more of like a stone, which is kind of like a little bit more natural, I guess. Okay, so I've added this little deck out the front, and then I've just added some trim to the top of these walls to like finish them off. And then for the stone, I might come in with something like this kind of, and then I'm gonna do that as well. So it's kind of like a little bit more natural, but it's also manicured, if that makes any sense. And then I'm just going to add in a bunch of greenery, like some flower beds and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I've just added in like a little bit of landscape, like a few trees and some of these shrubs. I've kind of changed the back garden, so we exit from like around this corner now onto a little deck, and then we've got this space. And then I want to add in a bunch of ivy to like the building because I think it looks so good. So when I personally do ivy, I like to pick like a point of like where it could start from. So maybe it started like here behind all these bushes, like it kind of makes sense it'd come from like this direction, and then I spread it out from there. Okay, cool. I just added in just a little bit around the house, kind of like this, but we can come in and do the back garden next. So I think I'm gonna have maybe like a seating area here. I don't know if we'll be able to fit in like maybe a little pool. I guess we could come in and like continue this, just like something like this, kind of a little bit small, and then maybe we can fit in like just like an outdoor seating area. We have this one from Seasons, which is quite nice, and I think does kind of give industrial. Maybe if we make it like a dark brown. And then what we're going to do for chairs, I might come in with these ones from City Living. Like, do they go? What do we think? Okay, I'm going to go with that. I feel like we just don't have any industrial looking chairs. It's crazy. And then let's get something to go on the table. Maybe like a condiment stack would be good. This one. And then if we shuffle this down slightly, We might be able to get like a barbecue or something kind of at the back. I do like this one from the, which pack is this? The Desert Luxe pack. I think this one is really nice. Putting these two from just base game, and I know the tops don't match, but the tones kind of do. So I think that's like the best we're gonna get. And then we'll see if we can find some like just like a little bit of clutter we can add. Okay, I just added a little bit like a condiment thing and then some tools that they can use to cook. And I feel like we need to border this or do something to it so it's not like looking so weird. Just like out in the middle here. So what I was thinking is maybe we could make our own like pergola, I think they're called. So let's maybe do a dark brown one to kind of bring in a little bit of the brown colour from the house and see what we can get going here. Okay, am I coming with these horse ranch pillars as a base? Okay, so I've put our roof, and then what I like to come in and do is get this flooring, and we'll make it dark brown, and we're going to make like our grid, which is going to kind of be the base of it. And then we'll like add decorations to it to make it hopefully look a little bit better. I might do that actually, it's slightly darker brown. Okay, and now you just add stuff to it for what you like. Sometimes I like to actually come in with these lights. Where are they? Let me find them. Sometimes these look nice as like walls, but I don't think they're going to match the theme of this world, so we're not going to do that. We're going to go for something different. Okay, so I've kind of walled it off, which I actually don't hate. I feel like maybe the table should come out like slightly though, and maybe it can just be moved around, so if they want to be under the cover they can push it back. And then I might come in with my favorite fairy lights, raise them up and kind of hang them from the ceiling, like change the orientation a little bit and just kind of see if we can get these to look good. Okay, so I've added like these fairy lights, kind of, it kind of glitches out, but they are around all three sides. And then I'm going to grab some of these lanterns, I think, and like raise them up and like maybe some candles and just kind of place them on top of these barrier, like on top of the walls, going around it to kind of create some like really cool, interesting lighting. Okay, I've just added in like a couple of clusters, nothing crazy. And let's see what that looks like at night. Yeah, that looks really pretty. I mean, if I go upstairs, I don't know why these lights are glitching, but I promise they're like there's string lights everywhere. Okay, cool. Let's maybe do this deck next. So I think for the deck, I'm going to add one of these lanterns just because I think it looks really cool. And there's not much space out here, so I might just kind of see if we can find a bench to go under that window and then maybe a plant and leave it at that. Maybe one of these ones, which is kind of like metal, but it's also like a little bit interesting. We can maybe change this, swatch this to black. We need to kind of leave enough space for people to get out of that door. So maybe like shuffle it along slightly. And then I might bring this forward and see if we can get a plant to go in that back corner. Maybe just a simple base game one would be cool. And then for the wall, I think I'll just get like a lantern, like one of these, and kind of just pop it there. Okay, and then finally, I'm just gonna get a little mat. There is one that I really like. This one, I think. Yeah, it's just like got like a very subtle texture that I think will match this house. And we'll just pop that there. Okay, cool. And then for the rest of the garden, I might just do... I mean, maybe we should have pushed that back a bit. I'm going to move it. I think this should have probably been here. I might have to move it. Okay, I moved it. I think it looks a lot better in this corner over here. And then I've just come in and added in these eco lifestyle like greenery like dividers, I guess, just because it's like on the main road, so just to give them a little bit of privacy. I've also added in all the string lights. And then this is kind of what it's looking like at night time, which I think is super cute. Okay, let's see the rest of the garden. Okay, I have finished the back garden, so I've just come in, I extended this flower bed slightly. I found these, which I think they're from For Rent. So I've just kind of put them like lining the pool. And just to kind of finish that off, and then I've added in these two planters here from Base Game to add like a little bit of greenery to that space. So it wasn't just like a span of like all this stone. And then dotted around I have added some like little lanterns, and this is what it's looking at like at night time, and I think it's super cute. I love it. So the only exterior we need to do now is this front deck and then the like little balconies. For these I'm just going to kind of add in some basic stuff like some lighting, maybe a seat, kind of keep it a little bit minimal out here, I think. Okay, so I just added a little bit. So out the front here I've added in a couple of plants, a matching rug for the same one out the back, and then just some seating, a bin, and then their mailbox. And then if we go up to the balcony, and this one I've added in some planters so they can grow their own food if they want to, and just a seating area with some lanterns. And then on this one I added in the telescope, a table and a chair, just so they've got somewhere to like read. Maybe in the morning they can come outside and have their coffee. And then this is what it's all looking like at night, which honestly, obsessed. Okay, so I'm going to quickly do a floor plan and then we'll go and spin and see what our next theme is going to be. Okay, I've kind of done a floor plan, not going to lie, it took me a minute to figure it out. We need to move some of the windows, but that's fine. So we have like a small entryway, and then this is going to be our living room, a kitchen diner, a hallway, downstairs bathroom, and possibly laundry if we can fit it in, an office, and then upstairs we're going to have like this landing, which can kind of just be like a seating area, a bedroom with an ensuite, and then a bigger bedroom with that balcony off the back. Okay, cool. So for our entryway, we are going to have, drum roll, ooh, bohemian. Okay, cool. Okay, so in my opinion, bohemian or boho is kind of like a lot of natural wood tones, kind of some bold flowery prints, a lot of like greenery. So I'm going to come in with a wood floor to start off with, and I think maybe just this base game one. And then for the walls, I might do paneling. I have been loving paneling a minute for like in my build, and I'm going to do it like a light wood, and I want something kind of not modern, but yeah, like this. Yeah, that is perfect. And then I'm going to put the door in the center here going into the living room, and I think I'm going to see if I can find a door that just kind of matches in tone. Maybe this one. Yeah, I think we'll go with that one. And since the area isn't huge, I think on one side we'll do like a bit of seating, and then on the other side we will kind of do maybe like an end table where they can put all their posts. So I'm going to keep light wood like selected because I think all the wood in here is going to be a light tone. And then I'm just going to kind of see maybe this one. And then for comfort, I'd like one of the seats that has one of these that is kind of like wicker. I think this will look perfect. And we'll do one, and then maybe like an end table next to it. Maybe this one from Snowy Escape would look good there. So let's see what we've got. That's kind of skinny. I think I'm going to go with this base game one. It's because it kind of matches. It's not as tall, but I've kind of shimmied it and hiding it behind this hedge. Okay, and then here, maybe we just want like a bunch of flowers because I think boho is very green. We could maybe do like a hanging one in the corner. And then I would like a nice like big bunch. We don't really have that many big bunches of flowers. I feel like that'll go on a window or on a surface, but we could maybe do this one. Maybe give it that frame, and then for a curtain, maybe something like this, which is kind of, I do it in the pink swatch to kind of match the chair. And then we can add like just a little bit of clutter that you'd have, maybe like the letters clutter. Will you fit under there? You will, just about. And then I think we need a rug to go like at the front door. I mean, we could do this one, which is a different swatch of the one outside, but I feel like that looks a bit weird. I do like this rug, and I do think this rug is a bit boho, so I might just get that one, size it down, and kind of put it there in front of the door. Yes, I think that looks cool. Maybe we'll kind of do like a cactus, and there is a second cactus which I really love. I use it everywhere. Let me find it. This one. It's not very big though, but I wonder if what it looks like sized up. Wild. Okay, we can do this though. We can have like two little cactuses. I mean, if you ever came home like slightly drunk, you'd have to kind of beware. But I think that's cute. We could maybe do, if we size this down, what does this one look like? Can I do it in this yellowy swatch? I think that looks fun. And then let's get in a light so we can see slightly better. And I think I'm going to go with this like wicker one, because I feel like boho is very wicker. I don't know, I think there's a lot of wicker furniture. And then I kind of want to get maybe a mirror to go on here. Oh, actually there is a wicker one. Where is it? This one. And we'll kind of center that there. Perfect. So maybe we can do these instead. And we'll do two because they have like multiple swatches. So we can kind of do, maybe we could do like two-tone of the same swatch. Or we could come in and do something like completely different for the other one. I do kind of like that though. Just like the same, but like subtly different. And then what can we put over here? I'm thinking a picture. Maybe that one. It's like kind of pink. And honestly, I don't think we can fit much more. We can maybe try and fit in a couple more plants. Let's see what we can do there. Okay, I might have added in a few too many plants, but we've added in, so I've added in these above the window here and above the door. And I love doing that. Like a little string of those lights. I have added in a stool for movie hangout here because I think the swatch matches. We have our mirror and our artwork there, and then over here we just have like an end table with some decor, and that is our entryway. I feel like we cannot physically fit anything else in. So now we're going to go over to our living room and let's go back to the wheel. So what are we going to get for our living room? Oh, Scandinavian. Okay, cool. I can work with that. Okay, so I feel like Scandinavian is kind of close to boho, kind of like the but kind of similar tones and stuff. So it's very light wood. It's kind of white. Kind of like blocky furniture, I feel like. So for the floor, I might even come through and just add in, not the rug, the same one that we've done in the hallway. Yeah, and then I think I'm just going to do white walls. Actually, I might do this, which is like a very light brown, and it kind of has like a nice texture on it. I might change the floor though. I think it's not like warm tone enough. I might do this one with the floorboards. Okay, scrap that. I'm going to do this one from Cats and Dogs, I think. And then I might change that to just a slightly lighter colour. Yeah, because I think it was too orange before. It was throwing it off. And then for a sofa, I'm going to do a white one, I think. I might come in with this one. Yeah, from the Book Nook kit. And I might do 2 of those because they have like this peachy tone, which I think is good. The TV is going to go here. And I think I'm going to use the one from Snowy Escape. I think Snowy Escape has like a perfect amount of, like, the design of the furniture is just great for this theme. So I'm going to do that end table there. And do they have something I can use for my like TV table? They do. We're going to use this one. What should we do for a coffee table? I feel like we need the Snowy Escape one, but we have just used that. So maybe we can switch out the... Oh, maybe we could do this one. Maybe we could do this one as our TV unit and this one as our coffee table, because it's got like a nice like design on the top and you can't see it when it's a TV unit. So we could maybe do something like this for the rug. This is cool. I want something very subtle, so like the brown tones, but like nothing crazy. We could also maybe do this one. I'm gonna do this one, and then we might come back and revisit it and switch out. Actually, I might do this one because I think this shape fits this space a little bit better. And then we're gonna add in some plants. Obviously maybe just one on the coffee table, and then one maybe by the TV. Maybe we'll add this base game one over by the TV there. And then we could probably add a bookcase in this corner. Could maybe do this one, yep, from Snowy Escape there. And we're gonna do my favorite windows. And they're the only windows that are gonna match this room. These ones from Desert Lux, I think. Okay, cool. And then let's get in a light. And again, I feel like I'm gonna look for something different, but this one would be perfect, I feel like. Okay, I've just added in a shelving unit there with some books and some plants. And now I think I'm gonna get a lamp to go in this corner. I think I might do this one from Forent. It's not from Forent, I lied, it's from Grown Together. And then we can get a plant to go next to it, and I think this one would be good if we can like shuffle them around a little bit. Yeah, okay, cool. And then let's get a lamp to go on this end table too. Maybe this one will go, or we could come in and do like a lantern. I think that looks cool. And then I think maybe a big piece of art to go on this wall here. I might just size that one up. Like, does that look crazy? Like, I think that looks, it's like, I like the picture, but I just don't know if it looks crazy sized up. I feel like it doesn't. I feel like we can get away with that. Okay, and then we can possibly get another plant to go in this corner too. Maybe this one. Oh, that one does, I love that one, but if the leaves fan out too much, maybe we can do this one if I can like spin it so it's not clipping into anything. Okay, I went with the cactus instead just because it fits a little bit better. Okay, cool. And that is kind of going off my reference picture. This is how they look. I might see if we can add in a little basket of blankets there. I'm just going to size it down one because it's so big, and I'm just going to add that there. Okay, cool. Yeah, from the picture it's kind of very wood tones like this, like it's very minimal, and the furniture is very sleek and like rectangular. So yeah, I think that is our Scandinavian living room. So next we're going to go into the kitchen diner. So let's go back to the wheel. For our kitchen diner we are going to get, oh, cottagecore. This is going to be such a good one. Okay, so cottagecore is very kind of like a bit fairy, a little bit like English garden, a little bit romantic-y, all mixed up into one. So I think we're going to go with a wooden floor in here, and maybe like this horse ranch one, because it's kind of like a little bit roughed up. I feel like the wood textures, yeah, aren't like smooth. I think they're very like I don't know how to explain it. More weathered. Weathered is the word. Okay, and maybe we can come in with like one of these from Cottage Living, but not with the animals. I think have they got one that's just got flowers? Okay, I'm gonna go with this, and we might come back and like change it depending what we do for the rest of the kitchen. And I think the only cupboards we could use will be these ones from Cottage Living, and I think I might do them in this green swatch. I do like that. I think minty green is kind of a popular cottagecore colour too. Oh, I've kind of changed it to this blue swatch because I do also like this colour. Maybe we'll go with the blue. Okay, and then the sink, I think I'm just going to come in with this one from Snowy Escape. And then for the fridge and the freezer, we are obviously going to do these ones. Perfect. Now let's get in a light, and I think for now I'm going to go with this one again from Cottage Living. I'm just going to place it there, and we might move that around. We'll figure that one out later, but just so we can see what's happening. And then what do we want to give them for kitchen appliances? Maybe we could give them like a coffee machine over here. And then what else do we have? We could maybe give them a rice cooker on this side here. And then I'm just going to add in just a little bit of clutter. Okay, I just added in a little bit in this corner. I'm going to keep this side free because the kitchen isn't huge. So we have like a little bit of canvas which you can use there, and then a little bit you can use there. And then I want to see what we can get for wall decorations because I think we're going to have a fair few. Maybe over here we'll do like a little collage. Okay, I swapped it around. I got rid of the collage. I didn't like it. I think it looked too messy with the wallpaper. So we've put our chalkboard over there, and I've added in this like exposed shelving onto this wall here. And then I think we need a rug. Maybe we'll go with this one. It's only got a few rabbits. Yeah, okay. And then let's find a table to go here. I might go with this swatch. It's from oh, it's from Cottage Living again. I thought it was from the Paranormal pack. This is the one from the Paranormal pack. And I might try it in the red because we have red in the rug. We have red in the wallpaper. And then maybe to kind of get out of the Cottage Living streak, we could come in and do these chairs from Horse Ranch. And then I might just like tuck that into the corner. And then I think we'll add on a little bunch of flowers because I feel like in a cottagey kitchen, that's what you need. They probably make their own flowers. Like they collect them from the garden and put their own little bunches together. So I think we'll add a nice potted plant if I can find one. Okay, to be honest, there's not that many that'll go on a table, so I've just picked that one up. I have seen this though, and I feel like we need to put this somewhere, so I'm going to pull that out for now, and we'll find somewhere for those two. And then we need a bin, so let's see what we've got for a bin. We could maybe do this one, which is like a little barrel, but I think it matches. And then I want to get these like little aprons to go next to it because they are adorable, and I think if they are into like cottagecore and stuff, I imagine they bake a lot. Yeah, cute. And then I don't know why, but I feel like this old-fashioned phone will look really good there in that gap. Yeah, and then maybe we can fit this like little fairy thing just there next to the bin. Cute. Okay, and then on this wall here, I'd like to get one of those, I call them Welsh dressers. I don't know what you guys call it. Like the place where you can put plates and stuff. And maybe we'll bring in these Horse Ranch ones. And then they do come in a blue colour. So we could maybe do that to like match the kitchen, or we could go green because it is green around and we've just literally got every single colour going. I'm going to change this. I think this is like a bit much. I might just change this to white. For curtains, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. There are some like cottagey ones, but I don't know if they're going to fit the style of windows we have. We have these ones which are from Cottage Living, so I guess we could come in with these and just like raise them up super high. I actually sized them down and I don't think they look that bad. I think they might look slightly better sized down, so I might try that on them all. Yeah, I don't hate that. And then I think I'm going to come in on this blue swatch. It's still wide enough that I think if they were pulled down, the whole window would be covered. So yeah, I think we shall do that. And then maybe we'll get in a lamp. I think that'll look good. I kind of feel like this base game one is kind of like older looking, so it might go if we can just like pop it in that corner there. And then I think a piece of art to go on here will like finish this side off. Maybe one from Horse Ranch. I know there's a couple in there that are kind of nature themed, so let's see what they've got. We can maybe do one of these swatches. I don't mind the horse one actually. I feel like that one kind of goes. For the rug by the back door, I might just like size this base game one down, or this tiny living one down, sorry. I just kind of pop it there. And do you know what, I might see if we can come up with a different wallpaper. Yeah, I actually don't hate that. It's so blue over there. What does it look like if we just do like a cream wall everywhere else? What do we think of that? Yeah, I might keep it like that actually. Okay, cool. And that is our cottagecore kitchen. You'll have to let me know what you think. Let me know how you think it turned out. Okay, so next we are going to do, let's do the office next. Let's go back to the wheel. And for our office, we are going to get Ooh, what is that? I think it's just rustic. Yeah, we are doing a rustic office. Okay, so for rustic, I feel like it's very, again, it's very like neutral wood tones. But like the furniture is more like the furniture that comes with Horse Ranch, where it's kind of like a little bit textured. I might go with this flooring and see how that goes. And then for the walls, from what I can see, they're very just like this. There's just not a lot going on with them. And then I think it'd be cool if we had our desk here, but I'm going to face it into the room for a change. I think this one from Horse Ranch is going to be perfect. I'm going to pop that there. And then for a chair, I feel like we want something comfy. I'm just going to maybe just do this black one for now. And then we'll come back and revisit the chair once we've kind of figured the rest of the room out. They can obviously get a big fancy computer there. And then on this wall here, I might do bookshelves. Maybe we'll do these ones from the Crystal Creations kit. And then we can maybe do like an art easel over here. I think like one of these like dirtied up textures will match kind of like the feel of the room. And then I think we need to put in like a chair of some sort. Maybe like this chair. And I feel like it'd be so uncomfortable. It's from Horse Ranch, but the texture of it matches. So I'm gonna pop that there for now. I might come back though and fix that. I'm gonna switch it out for this one from Base Game, and I've added these two end tables, and I feel like they're just gonna be office storage because maybe they keep their paperwork and baskets on them or something. And then we can get like a lamp to go on each one. I think we'll use these ones from Horse Ranch. Okay, I feel like we need a rug, and I might see what swatches this one comes in. Maybe this one. Ooh, no, this one. Let's do that. Yeah, okay. And then I think we need some more plants. And I feel like this is kind of like deserty style, so I might put in a couple of cactuses here. And then I wonder if we can get a piece of art to go on this wall. Maybe like this browner swat, or this one with the horse on it might be kind of cool. Okay, and I think that is it. I really like this. I think it's turned out very warm, and I'm a fan. Let's go on over to our hallway. Okay, so for our hallway, we are going to have Gothic, I believe. Yes, we are having a Gothic hallway. Okay, so I'm going to add in a light just really quick just so we can see. And for the floor, I'm going to see if we can find some sort of like tile. Maybe this tile. Like something like a little bit different. I think it's kind of hard to find a tile that doesn't look like a bathroom, like right off the bat. We could maybe go for this one and bring in some reds. Or we could do like a really dark floor. Maybe a wood floor. And we'll see if we can do something different with the wallpaper. Oh, maybe this one with like the bats and the berries and all that. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that. I think I'm going to use this end table from Growing Together. I bet it's not Growing Together. Oh my god, it actually is. And then I've added in this one from the For Rent pack over there because I think that's cool. So let's kind of find some art and anything we can put on these walls. I changed my mind. I don't think I'm going to do a gallery wall. I think I'm going to do like these three. The frames don't match because I couldn't find a swatch that matches. But we've got like Vlad in the centre, then maybe this is like our dream house, and then maybe our wedding photo. And I think that looks quite nice with the three there. And then I've added this pumpkin on here because I see it all the time and I really want to use it, and I can never find this like a reason to. But I feel like this is the perfect time because why wouldn't you want a pumpkin in your Gothic house? I mean, I would have a pumpkin in my house, just chilling all year round. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, I've just added a couple of like these candelabras on the wall there framing the photos, a couple of plants, and then this rug from Vampires, which I really like. And then again, we need to figure out what we're going to do on this side. Okay, I think we have finished it. So I added in a second lamp over there, and then I just changed, it's kind of hard to see, sorry, but I changed this space. I got rid of the pumpkin because it was just looking weird. And I put 3 urns instead, and then on this side I added in like a standing candelabra, and then a couple of pictures. I know it's annoying me too that the frames don't match, but you can't get the frames matching with different pictures in, so we're just going to have to ignore it. This lovely woman here, who is she? Who knows? But she's there. And then there's like little stone bench because I feel like it matches the room and it looks really cool. So that is our Gothic hallway, and now we have like our little bathroom to do. Okay, so for our downstairs bathroom, we are going to get Maximalist. Okay, that is going to be interesting. Okay, so Maximalist is basically a lot of clutter and a lot of bold prints. So let's see what we can do for that. We can maybe come in with this flooring here, and then let's see if we can find a tile that matches. Okay, instead I've come in with just this plain wall cover, and I think that does kind of match, so we will do that. I might come in with these counters from For Rent because I've not used them yet and they are my favourite. This is probably the only other chance we're going to get to use them, although we do have one bathroom left upstairs. Okay, and then I'm going to also come in with this For Rent mirror, and then let's get in a light so that we can see. I might do this fish one because I feel like it's a bit different and it kind of matches. We aren't going to be able to fit in a shower, I don't think, down here because of where the door is. I think maybe we could do this one if we like push it over. Actually, that one might work. Okay, let's find a blind for our window. I might do this one from the movie hangout kit because it's so extra that I kind of love it in here. Maybe this like floral print. I've kind of swapped the floor over to this one to bring in a couple more of those colours from the curtains. What do we think? Maybe if we pair it with this wallpaper, or we could do a pink. Yeah, let's do a pink because the floor is kind of peachy. There's a lot of pink in there, and then we'll bring in the other colours in decor. So this side here, I think we're just going to clutter up as much as we can. So I'm just going to pull as much stuff as I can and kind of organise it in a way that makes sense. Okay, there we go. I've added a lot, but I think it makes sense for a bathroom, so I don't think it looks weird. And then I feel like a cool picture here would be nice. Maybe this girl, if we can like size her down because she's very bold. And then let's see if we can find some towels or something maybe to go on this wall here. They have these ones from the clutter kit and they're like kind of rumpled, which I think is cool. And we could maybe do them in that swatch. And then let's find a rug to go here. There's this heart one which I kind of like. Maybe, I was gonna say maybe if we size it up, but it sizes up too big. Shoot, like does that? Yeah, it's too small, isn't it? We could maybe do a fluffy rug. And then what colours does it come in? Maybe like a green shade. Okay, and then I'm also gonna get on for the toilet because I feel like they're a maximalist. They'd have multiple. And I might do that in like a green shade to like tie those together. Okay, cool. I think we are done. So we have our toilet here with a couple of plants. There's a plant down there, some artwork. We have our shower and our like caddy there. Over here we have our sink with all our clutter on the counter, some art like a ram's head here, our towels, and then I've added these string lights going around the room, and I think that's pretty full if you ask me. So next I think we will do this area, which is kind of going to be a seating area that kind of leads onto the balcony. So let's go spin the wheel. Okay, what are we going to get? Ooh, Art Deco. Okay, so for Art Deco, I imagine it's very bold print. It's very like geometric furniture, something a little bit funky. So I think I'm going to pick the sofa first, or like the chairs, and then we'll come in and figure out what we're going to do for like the walls and stuff. First, I think I would like to add in a railing here. Maybe this could be Art Deco actually, and I'll keep it in that swatch for now. And then we'll get in some seating and bookcases and stuff. Let's do our chairs, our doors as well. Maybe we should do these doors, which are a bit like, I'm going to put them for now just so we've got somewhere where I know I can't like put anything, but we might change this. Let's get in the seating. I think the seating is going to be the main event and like set the tone for the rest of the room. So we have this from Paranormal, which I think we could make work. I'm just trying to see what swatch I want. I want like a multi swatch. Maybe this pink and green is cool. I like that. Let me just have a look through to make sure there's nothing else I prefer. There is also this one from High School Years, which I have used before, which I think is very Art Deco, just like the shape of it. But I don't know if this is going to be too big. Let's see. Let's move this one out of the way. We could maybe put this like here. And then this kind of does match, but I'm going to look at chairs to see if we can get like a different option with like an armchair, because it is one that matches this, but I don't know if we want to do matching or if we want to do something different. We could stick with like the pink and green theme though and do like these chairs that are the same design, just different colours, and we could maybe pop them there. You know, I don't hate that. Let's go see what we've got for wallpaper that I think might match. We have this wallpaper which I think is very funky. We can maybe do something like that. I don't know if this one, like, it is floral. Maybe if we found something to go on it, we could get like this one to work. I don't know which one to use. I feel like both could work. So we have this. I might go with this one actually. Yeah, let's do this one and kind of go from there. Maybe change the doors. I might try these doors. I mean, they are too wide. I think they're a front door, but I think they look cool. The green kind of matches too. So I might keep that. And then I feel like we need a cool lamp, or like maybe these, like just something cool above like our seating area, or maybe like this chandelier, which I thought was going to be bigger than it is. We could maybe pop that there. And then for flooring, do we want to go something funky? Do you know what? I might keep that for a second. I don't hate it as much as I thought I would, so let's leave it. and see how we get on with the rest, and we could always change it. I kind of want to do a unit here, and I was thinking maybe this one from Movie Hangout, but I don't know if the swatches are great. So maybe this one from Paranormal. Maybe in like this bluey green colour. And then I feel like behind it we need a funky picture, but we don't have that many funky pictures. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the sloths. And then maybe a bunch of flowers, as always. Let's see what we can do for a rug then. Maybe come in with like this rug. This is cool. Or even this one. I'm going to put them both down, and then I'm going to change the floor, and we'll come back and see which one we want. I might change the floor to this wood one from Jungle Adventure. So which, maybe, I do love this one. But I think maybe we need to bring in some more of the green to kind of, we've got a lot of pink going on. And then here, I would like again, another abstract picture. We don't have many though, that's the thing. How about this one? It's from City Living, and it's just kind of, I honestly couldn't tell you what, so I think that matches quite well. And then if we move this door across, can we get in a second like end table? And I might see if we can get this one to work. Oh, we could put a mirror here. That might look cool. I have like a couple of standing mirrors. We could maybe do this one. Oh, there is another one that I really like that I haven't used for a while. Let me find it. This one from Jungle Adventure. Yeah, maybe let's do this one. And we'll do it in a green to bring out that. And then I might put the fluffy rug in front of it. Is that going to look weird? I mean, it's so small, but I kind of like it. Okay, maybe just a few more plants. Okay, I can't find a single plant that's going to fit there. So let's move on to curtains. Okay, I might do these ones from the Paranormal kit. And I do quite like this pink swatch, but I don't know if we've got too much pink, so I might leave it at this green. Okay, cool. And I guess this is our Art Deco. I don't know if it's giving Art Deco, but it's the best I have. Okay, so for our, this isn't our master bedroom, this is our spare bedroom. What is our theme going to be? Ooh, mid-century modern. Okay, cool. So I think in here I would like to do like a dark brown floor. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this brown one from base game. And I know in like mid-century they had a lot of like wall panels, like their houses were very wooden. So I might see if we can bring something like that into it. So maybe this one. We'll add the bed and then kind of see what we think of it. Well, for the bed I know which one I want to use, and it is this one from the Movie Hangout stuff. So let's pick a colour, and I think this is going to like set the theme for the room. I think we've done a lot of orange, so I might go with this yellow swatch. And then I'm also going to do the matching end tables. Also, I think I called said the bed was from Movie Hangout. It's not, it's from Get Famous. I've just used so much Movie Hangout stuff that it's latched into my brain. We don't have too many like mid-century, I would say, lamps, so I might just use these base game yellow ones. And for the rest of the walls, I might just see if we can come in with like a light shade of yellow, or we could maybe come in with like a light brown. We could even just panel the whole thing. I wonder if we could work with that, or do we need a pop of colour? Maybe blue. There is blue on the headboard, so let me see if I can see anything in blue. I know they had bold patterns. I'm gonna fix that tree, ignore it. They did use a lot of bold patterns, but is this too much? I might see if we can make it work. I might use this rug underneath because I feel like geometric shapes were a thing, and I'm going to change the wallpaper. I don't like that. I might just come in with a plain bold blue one, and then for a dresser I'm going to use these two that match the bed from Get Famous. And again, I think bold prints it in, so I'm going to add this one. It has orange, yellow and blue, which I kind of feel like matches the room. And then on top of the dresser I might just add in some clutter. Kind of like that there, I think. And then over here I might add a plant and maybe a chair. I kind of want to go something to go here, and I was thinking maybe like some like vase or decorative thing of some sort. I feel like we don't have anything. We could maybe do this. We don't really have any decorative objects that aren't like flowers and like are quite big, so like statues and stuff. Maybe I'll do that one. And then let's see if we can find another piece of art to go like above it. We could maybe do the clown. I feel like it's just weird enough to kind of match this room. And then I might see if I can find a lamp to go behind there. Maybe this one. And then on here I might just do like this little cat and then this book bundle stack. So let's kind of find some curtains, which wish us luck. Okay, I might try these ones. They're just from base game, but I just kind of want to mix it up. Okay, let's get like a main light next. We could maybe do this one, this like pointy one. Do you know what? I feel like the walls are throwing it off. I don't know. Let me try a different wall colour. I think I'm going to come in with this one from base game, and it's just a very light brown. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Okay, cool. And this is our mid-century modern style bedroom. Okay, and now let's go on to our master bedroom and see what we are going to get. So for our master bedroom, we have got coastal. Okay, so I think for in this room, we are going to be using a lot of whites and a lot of light blues. Kind of feel like I want to use this flooring by Cats and Dogs, but do we want to use the darker version? And then for the walls, I might come in with just this very light blue. It's almost white. And I feel like maybe something like this. I'd like something kind of like chunky. Maybe even this one. Yeah, I think we'll do this one from high school. And I might even come in actually and change this back wall to be like a feature wall of like wood paneling. And then for the end tables, maybe something like this, like a little bit worn, but also like cubey. That's kind of what I feel like the furniture should be. It's very like sturdy and stocky, but kind of weathered at the same time. I feel like there's only one appropriate bedside lamp that is going to match that, and this is these ones. And we'll change them to like a kind of a bluey swatch. And then I wonder if we can get anything for this back wall that's kind of nautical themed. Is it crazy? I kind of feel like we should add this to it. And then we can maybe like add an anchor somewhere else. I feel like that's cool. And then I wonder if we can add maybe just like, maybe something like this, just either side. Okay, and I feel like we definitely need a rug. So let's see what we can do for that. I might just do this one from Tiny Living under the bed there. And I'm going to do it in the cream colour because we have a lot of blue going on. And then let's find a dresser for them. And I might do this one, which is kind of, it matches the bedside tables a little bit. It's a bit shabby, which I think matches. And I'm just going to angle it and pop it in that corner. And we could even do the matching dresser. Okay, I changed my mind. I've done this one from Horse Ranch. I've swapped the bedside tables too. And now I'm debating swapping the bed for this one. I think I'm going to. Yeah, okay, cool. And then I think we need a mirror in this corner. Maybe we'll go with the Horse Ranch one again. And we can give these a desk maybe here looking outside so we can like do their hair and stuff. And again, we'll probably go with the Horse Ranch one just as all the wood is gonna match and like it's textured, which is what I want. And we'll maybe do this chair. Yeah, okay, cute. I might actually give them a laptop because we have a computer downstairs, but maybe they come up here. I imagine they may be like writing, and then we'll also add in a couple of bits, like maybe that they also do their makeup here or their hair. Cool, maybe something like that. And then let's get in some curtains, and I think we are going to use maybe these ones actually would go. Yeah, I'm going to do those, and then I'm going to have a look through and see if I can find anything nautical that we can keep adding to the walls and stuff. Okay, cool, so I've just kind of found a couple of bits. I found like this fish hanging thing. I've put this like ship's wheel above the door. There's these like frames that are like fishing rods, which are cute. I wanted to turn this one round so it kind of went like this, but you can't. This is from Cats and Dogs, I believe. A couple of vases from Island Living, a little chair, and then like a buoy or like a life ring, whatever they're called, to go next to it. And then I think we just need a main light. And I think we do have to do this fish one, don't we? And then maybe we can add a second chair over here by this window. Maybe I'll add in this like little rustic bench over there so they've got somewhere to sit. And yeah, guys, I think that is it. Do you think it's giving nautical? I think it is. Okay, let's go spin for what this bathroom is going to be. Okay, and our master bath is going to be minimalist. Okay. So minimalist, in my opinion, is very sleek. It's very minimalist. There's like nothing really, no clutter, no nothing. Everything is very cubular, I feel like, and like plain. Maybe just like this, a very subtle tile pattern to go on our walls. And this is quite big, so I think here we might try and find a bath. I might come in with the one from Seasons and add that here. And then we can add some decorations around it, but only a little bit, maybe like just some plants. I might just come in with these two base game plants and add them either side like that. Let me add some curtains in just so I can then get a better idea of where I can put furniture. And I think we might just come in with these ones. They are our favourites, but they are very like plain. There's not much to them, which I think matches this theme. And then here we might add our vanity. I kind of want to do this one from For Rent, if I'm honest. I might move it over here actually, so then we have somewhere for our mirrors. Okay, and I'm going to give them a double sink. And I think I can use this one from Snowy Escape. This one, yeah. And then they're both going to get a mirror, and I think I might just use this plain square one, or even this one, because I think the wood matches slightly better. And then I'm not going to add any clutter onto the counter except a bunch of flowers. And then I kind of want to add a picture, but I don't think I will. I think I will leave it like that. I might add a little light though above each of them, and then we're going to have to put our shower here because there is no other space for it. And I think we're going to do this one from Snowy Escape, and that does mean the toilet will have to go in front of the window, but we'll put it here so you're kind of behind the curtain. And I'm going to use this one. I think that I'm going to leave it there, which is shocking for me. So we have our bath under the window with a couple of plants either side. Our shower, I added a light over there. I moved the toilet over here just so it can sit actually against the wall. I think it looked weird before. We have our vanity with our mirrors and our shelving above it. And that is all I'm going to do. I might actually just see if I can find one painting to go here. Okay, I'm just going to add that one because it's a minimal picture. It's just a leaf and I think that is fine. Yeah, that is our minimalist bathroom. I really love how that one turned out. It looked really good, even though it's minimalist and it's not really my thing. I love it. It says counters for rent. They're so nice. And that is our last room, guys. This is our house. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know which room is your favourite. And let me know if there's another Sims challenge you want me to do. Thank you all for watching and I'll catch you next time. Bye!